Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today is a must-see, easy snowy background technique using brand new products from the Hero Arts October 2023 My Monthly Hero release. Oh my gosh, is this holiday reindeer fancy die a showstopper or what? Absolutely love it. I had to use it, but we are going to build our background first. And when I say quick and easy, I mean it. We are going to take the Tone on Tone Blue Shimmer Spray on a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch panel of cardstock, and we're spritzing mostly that upper portion. See how I'm not taking it all the way to the bottom, but I'm still letting some of the splatter. I'm not masking it off. That is to resemble snow along the bottom edge. I did this purposely because I want it to build a scene with one layer with no dyes needed. You could do this with any color and it creates gorgeous, gorgeous results. So I also made sure not to do total full coverage at the top part of the panel. I want a little of that white showing through, but I still want it to be dark enough because we will stencil over it in a little bit. While it's drying, I took my Holiday Reindeer Fancy die cut it from some 110-pound weight Nina Smooth White cardstock, and I am coloring in these beautiful images with OLO alcohol ink markers. Now, I made some missteps in my color choices, but as always, I like to roll with it. In my opinion, you should try to fix it whenever possible without die cutting more. I mean, unless it is just completely ruined, I always just kind of try to go with it, and I end up loving, loving, loving my reindeer. Now, this reindeer is maybe one of my favorite dies Hero Arts has ever done. It's big, it's bold, it's not super teeny tiny. I could imagine doing this reindeer and putting it on big tags for a very rustic type of holiday card. Absolutely amazing. So I didn't really love like my first coloring here, and then I went over it because if you use a lighter marker that has more of that zero kind of blender in it, it will push the ink, the darker ink out of the way. It's not going to erase anything. But then funny enough, I end up coloring it darker. So there's that. I just rolled with it. Now, something I loved about these dies, and this is not always the case, they are tabbed, but there's nothing inside the large image. So in order not to lose anything, I just kept my dies together. If I was going to die cut these from separate different colors of paper or cardstock, I would trim them apart. And I eventually will, I'm sure. But I wanted to mention that if you don't like to, cut your dies apart, and I mean, who really does? Because it's not very fun. This is awesome. Now, I played with my colors a lot. You're going to see that throughout. I will list all of the browns and neutrals I used for my deer in the description box below the video here on YouTube, as well as over on my blog, because I played around with it quite a lot until I kind of got what I like. You're going to notice my deer was very light to start with, and then I'm adding more color on top. Now, this looks like a hot mess, right? Super duper hot mess. However, once you pop this guy out of the cardstock that we've die cut him from, you're left with a beautiful reindeer. I like coloring, when I am coloring with my alcohol ink markers especially, I like coloring on the cardstock, on the negative space. It allows you to be super messy with your coloring, and I feel like it just works great. Now, I noticed, I cannot believe it, but I must have used all of this color, and I do have a replacement, but it was in the basement in my extra supplies, and I didn't want to go get it. I know, that's so lazy. So I've since replaced it, but when I filmed this, I didn't. So I actually grabbed a different color, and I love it. I just wanted to make mention of that because I have used that marker so much that apparently I've used it up. It's one of my favorites. It's the OR 3.4 is the one I use all the time for neutral coloring, but we've moved on to some 7s, OR 7s here. And I really wanted to leave the coloring in to show you the process of how I got from that hot mess to the finished result, which I thought turned out absolutely beautiful. I could not be happier with the finished result of my deer. So I'm really, oh, the other thing I want to mention. So I talk a lot when we're coloring in outline images, have not saturate your paper, not have that ink bleed out. I don't care here. So I am really, really saturating because I find that it kind of gives you a nicer look for this particular, when I'm trying to blend colors that maybe a little further away from each other, you know, and so they may not naturally blend like you think, but the more you saturate, the more it blends. Yeah, that's what I was doing here, and it works with this technique. Now this card came together in less than an hour. I know I don't always do a fantastic job of keeping track of that, but I did try to with this card, and it was very, very fast. I am taking a black Jelly Roll pen now, and I added that to the eyes and the nose. In my opinion, this makes his face just pop. Look at how beautiful. I'm also going to take a white Jelly Roll pen and add some white detail. I will, when the eyes and the nose dry, add some highlights to those as well. But you want to give that black pen a little bit of time to dry a little bit. I was asked what the difference is between a Jelly Roll pen and a regular black pen, I think during one of my Stamp Timber videos. And truly, the Jelly Roll pen almost has some dimension to it. You can see it looks glossy. Even when dry, it has that little glossy raised finish where a black pen would just be flat. In my opinion, a black and a white Jelly Roll pen, those two pens are invaluable in your toolbox as a paper crafter. They can be used in so many ways. Now, there are 4 hanging ornaments. We're going to use them all because why not? And we're going to hang them from our reindeer's antlers. I love this effect. Now, if you've been here for any length of time, you know that I am a pretty traditional red and white, or red, white and green Christmas kind of girl. But I really wanted to branch out, and I was inspired by the blue shimmer background to do more of a wintry color scene, even for a Christmas card. So I'm going to give him a scarf that matches more of the background. It would be beautiful in any color, you guys, any color. But I am doing more of a kind of blue, violet, and teal, and I love it. So sometimes it's really fun to step outside of maybe your comfort zone a little bit, like for me, outside of my coloring comfort zone, and try a different color combination. I feel like it's a huge win. And for any of my like purple, blue, wintry kind of Christmas decorators, wouldn't this be beautiful like on a large tag, or if you even have a large enough ornament shape, or you could die cut one, probably like on a digital craft cutter. I don't know of a manual die cut that's quite this big. You could make your own for your tree or for decoration. You could make something large and frame it for decor during the holiday season. I mean, the sky is the limit. He's not teeny tiny, and I am here for it. I think it's amazing. You know what I'm thinking? Maybe I should even try to do this. There is, last year at the Target dollar spot, there was a large like plastic snow globe, and I think he would fit in it if you would want to maybe take Tim Holt's ideology, if you have one of those snow globes, or if they bring something similar out this year, or even, you know, try your craft and hobby stores too, but you could build a scene, put, you know, fake snow in there. You could do some of Tim's bottle brush trees. Oh my gosh, you guys. Maybe I should really try to do this, right? Maybe that would be a fun live. I'm just thinking out loud as I'm voicing this over, but you guys let me know down in the comments if we should try to do some home decor with this guy, because literally, I think he might be one of my favorite dies that Hero Arts has ever done. I think the detail is absolutely stunning. So as far as color, I know a lot, when I don't use red on a card, I often use a pop of red. We're not going to today. I thought it might detract from that snowy feel. We've got obviously our like blue, violet, and teal scarf. We've got a teal ornament, that blue violet ornament, a yellow star, and then I did pull out some more blue violets, but I would say these tend or go a little bit more towards the violet for that last ornament. It blends in. That's all I was going for. I'm adding in my white highlights. I think I added them too soon to my reindeer because they faded, so I just went over those a little bit. Adding highlights to his scarf, all of the good things to the ornaments, and then highlights to the eyes and the nose, and then popping him out, and look, oh my word, stunning. Now we can make this background better. So here comes the second part of the easy, snowy, one layer background. This is the beautiful new Starry Stencil. There also is a background bold print stamp set. I love them both. I think they are fantastic additions to your craft arsenal for winter and Christmas style of crafting. I've got some Hero Arts white paste, and I am applying it pretty generously, but scraping it pretty thin over my background panel. When I pull this away, I am going to let it dry. And then we are going to put everything on top. Now, I gave this probably a good 10 minutes to dry. It's pretty thin, but look at that. Look at the background, you guys. Is that not the most stunning background? I love this stencil. If you love stenciling, and it doesn't have to be with paste, it could be with other inks, this background is for you. So I gave this about 10 to 15 minutes, and I've come back and I'm ready to put it all together. And you can see no additional snowy border is needed. When I designed this card, that was my goal. Now, what I love about the fancy die, see how you can just pop up his chin or his head and slip that scarf underneath? You can use it with or without, and I love that. So let's glue it down in place so it's nice and secure. And I fiddled and played with it, as I do. But he takes up the entire card. Something else I would like to mention about this holiday reindeer fancy die. I think he would be fantastic if you are a 5x7 card maker. You could do a lot more. You could do, I mean, even on a standard A2, I think you could probably build some trees and stuff if you wanted behind him, if you have the right size and scale. And I know there's some past Hero Arts stencils and bold prints that would work with him, but you could really build a bigger scene if you wanted. Now I am going to use a greeting from the new Winter Trees stamp die combo. And yes, it does die cut the greeting. You guys know I love that. And I just have it laid out for scale and to know where I want it. I've pretty well centered our reindeer, and then we're going to start hanging ornaments from his antlers. And again, I think it's just so amazing. If you have like some little holly berries, leaves and berries that are small enough from any other die set that you have, I think that would be really cute on his antlers. If you have a Santa hat die, I probably need to dive into my Hero Arts fancy dies and see what I have. You could place that on the reindeer's head, and I think that would be amazing. There are other ways to customize him. Look in your stash, have fun, and build some really amazing card designs with this guy. You can trim up. You can see I'm trimming up my ornaments. I don't want some of them to be quite as long as they are. I'm placing some kind of back behind, like it's, you know, hanging tied in there, and some on top, whatever. And mostly I think I trimmed the ones over here on the left, but do whatever you need to do to kind of make it nice and cohesive. And I love those antlers hanging, or the ornaments hanging from his antlers. So beautiful. This right here would just be beautiful framed. I love this. Now I have some sparkle lacquer. I think I grabbed the crystal, basic crystal first, but we need sparkle, right? I'm going to place this on my ornaments and let this dry. And when it dries, we are going to be left with sparkly, beautiful ornaments. Just another little way to dress up your card and your die cuts without adding extra layers. Because the beauty of this easy snowy background is this card is very easy to mail. It is very flat. I've only popped up my greeting with foam adhesive. Other than that, everything on this card is flat. So if you're looking for something easy to mail, a design, this would be it. And the reindeer is so detailed, I decided not to pop him up with foam. And I don't think it needed it on this card. Now, these tone-on-tone shimmer sprays from Hero Arts are magic. I know I talk all the time about Tim Holtz's mica stains. They are fantastic. I just love having a nice wide variety. I'm all about these sprays right now for creating backgrounds. And in this case, it's not even like just a distress background. We've actually created our background without ink blending. And the time that saved was amazing. So I've glued my panel to a white top fold card base. It did curl up a little as that white paste from Hero Arts dried. So to glue this down, I went ahead and just put some acrylic blocks over the top, avoiding my sparkle crystal lacquer, and that's going to hold it down while it dries. I can stamp my season's greetings. I went rogue, or old school maybe I should say, and I am not going to even use my MISTI. I'm going to stamp this with an acrylic block using my favorite Hero Arts embossing and watermark ink on some black cardstock. We're going to sprinkle on the white embossing powder and heat set. Now, there were a lot of great dies this month. So there is a ornament fancy die set. There is a bear. Tell me what you would like to see from the Hero Arts released down in the comments below. I am going to try to incorporate those into a upcoming live or video, depend on time depending. We'll see where we fall. Might even try to squeeze that into a live later this week on Friday. So let me know, you guys, what you want to see from the release, and we will have some fun playing with additional beautiful supplies from Hero Arts. I am going to emboss this on white. I want my grading to be very bold. And sorry for my little delay here while you get to see Season's greetings. I had to move the outlet for my heat tool for some reason. And then I'm going to die cut with that coordinating die. It die cuts right next to the greeting, which is phenomenal. That means when we place our greeting on our background, it's not going to cover up our background. That background is the show, well, the reindeer is the showstopper, but the whole thing. And I just want that greeting. I obviously want it to be, you know, very legible and easy to read, but I don't want it to cover up everything else that's happening. And there we go, popped up with some foam. Now, I looked at this, and as much as I love it, you guys know me, it needed just something, a little something somewhere. And I decided it needed some more sparkle in the sky. I used the white paste because I didn't want the sparkle to just take on the tone of the blue shimmer spray, and I wanted that white in the sky. But I felt like we needed something shimmery and shiny. So I have some pretty pink Posh little silver star confetti here, and I am going to scatter those amongst, you know, that circular shape, and that is it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this beautiful Season's Greetings must-see quick and easy snowy background card featuring Hero Arts October 2023 My Monthly Hero release products. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to click the notification bell to always be notified when there is a new video or I go live. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again next time.